Hey everyone, Mr. Cruze here, working through the Chapter 8 test review. In this video, I'm going to be finishing up the review. Remember, your test is tomorrow, Friday, February 1st, 2013. There are 17 questions on the test. Coincidentally, there are 17 questions on your review. Amazing, right? The next couple, I'll just ask you to simplify the complex fractions. Remember, complex fractions are fractions inside of fractions, because you just can't get enough fractions. To deal with these, it's really simple. As long as you can get a single fraction over a single fraction, you can keep flip change. But sometimes you may need to split the problem up in order to get single fraction over single fraction. So I'm going to do the numerator first. 3 over 4d minus 6 over 2d. Well, if you notice, this is 4d, this is 2d. So I can actually multiply this one by 2 over 2, and that'll give me 4d. So I have 3 over 4d minus 12 over 4d, which gives me negative 9 over 4d. And if you notice, this numerator is the same as this. We'll be using that later. Okay. Now let me look at the denominator. 5 over d minus 8 over 3d. You'll notice the left fraction is missing a 3. So I multiply the numerator and denominator by 3. The right one's not missing anything at all now. So it now becomes 15 over 3d minus 8 over 3d, which is 7 over 3d. Once again, you'll notice that this denominator is the same as this. So now we can rewrite the problem. Negative 9 over 4d over 7 over 3d. Fraction over fraction. You can keep flip change. KFC. Keep the first fraction. Flip the bottom one, 3d over 7, and change it to multiplication. Alright, so the only thing left you have to do is cancel things out. You can go ahead and multiply them across the top and across the bottom if you want to, or we can just go ahead and cancel things as they are. I'm going to go ahead and cancel the d's, because those cancel, and really nothing else cancels here. So negative 9 times 3 is negative 27. Over 4 times 7 is 28. So it's negative 27 over positive 28. Okay. Number 12, same thing, although it already has a single fraction over a single fraction. So I might as well go ahead and keep flip change. Keep the first fraction. Flip the second one. And change the problem to multiplication. X squared minus 25, of course, factors into x minus 5 times x plus 5. X squared plus 6x plus 5. What multiplies to 5 and adds to 6? Well, that's 5 and 1. Times what multiplies to 1 and adds to 2? Well, that's 1 and 1. And, of course, you have the x minus 5. So we just need to look and see what cancels. Let's see, I have an x minus 5 and an x minus 5. I have an x plus 5 and an x plus 5. I have an x plus 1, and so the only thing left is x plus 1. Pretty simple. Okay, 13, 14, 15 are all about solving the equations, okay? So to solve the equations, you can get common denominators, although in this case it's just as easy to cross multiply. So x plus 5 times x plus 1 equals x minus 3 times x minus 4. You can FOIL. If you do, you get x squared plus 6x plus 5 equals x squared minus 7x plus 12. You can check my work there if you want to. You can FOIL it out by hand. I'm just doing it for the sake of time. You'll notice I can subtract x squared from both sides of the equation, and there is absolutely no x squared. So no need to worry about quadratic formula or anything here. Go ahead and add 7x to both sides. I'm going to subtract 5 in the same step. So 7x plus 6x is a total of 13x. And that equals 12 minus 5, which is 7. And divide, and you get x equals 7 over 13. Okay, now, the only thing you have to check is make sure it's not in your restrictions. And, of course, it's not. The only restrictions being 3 and negative 5. Okay? 14, y over 5 plus y over 2 equals 7 over 1. Common denominator appears to be 10, so I'm going to need to multiply this one by 2 over 2. this one by 5 over 5, and this one by 10 over 10. So it now becomes 2y over 10 plus 5y over 10 equals 70 over 10. Okay. Get rid of the denominators. 2y plus 5y equals 70. So you get 7y equals 70, which means y equals 10. Now you have to check your restrictions. And really, there are no restrictions on this one, so you're good to go. Okay. 15. 3 over x plus 5 minus 2 over x minus 5 equals negative 4 over x squared minus 25. You'll notice that they all appear to have an x plus 5 or an x minus 5. So that's pretty much what our common denominator is going to be. You'll notice the fraction on the right already has everything we need. We just need to take care of the two fractions on the left. This side needs an x minus 5. This side needs an x plus 5. Okay. So this becomes 3x minus 15 over your common denominator. Better go ahead and separate those. Minus 2x plus 10 over your common denominator equals negative 4 over your common denominator. Now, it's this minus that gets everybody, so I want you to watch what I do here. I'm going to make this a plus sign, and if I do, that makes this one a negative and this one a negative. Okay. Add the opposite. So now 3x minus 15 plus a negative 2x plus a negative 10 equals negative 4. Okay, we got rid of the denominators. 3x plus a negative 2x is just x. Negative 15 plus a negative 10 is negative 25 equals negative 4. You're going to add 25, which means x equals 21. Is that in our restrictions? The answer is nope. So there's your answer, x equals 21. Always, always, always check your restrictions. Make sure your answer for these equations is not in your restrictions. Okay. 16 and 17 are the story problems. So remember, the setup for these is the box. Okay. Rate times time equals distance. Okay. Jenny can ride her bicycle 12 miles uphill. Okay, so we have uphill, and I assume we're going to have downhill. 12 miles uphill, so I put 12 in the distance column. In the same time, key phrase, it takes her to ride 18 miles downhill. She rides downhill 5 miles per hour faster than she does uphill. So her uphill speed is x, and since she goes 5 miles per hour faster downhill, that's x plus 5. Now, you may recall, if I need time, it's d over r. So it would be 12 over x and 18 over x plus 5. Okay. Because we have the same time, that means their times are equal. So 12 over x equals 18 over x plus 5. And then this problem is no different than the ones we've done before. It's just cross multiplying. So 12 times x plus 5 equals 18 times x. So you get 12x plus 60 equals 18x. Subtract 12x, you get 60 equals 6x, which means x equals 10. Now, do they want x? Well, we want to find her riding rate each way. That's these two. Okay. So uphill, she goes 10 miles per hour. Okay. And downhill, she goes 10 plus 5, which is 15 miles per hour. Okay. So far, so good. Number 17 is a part job problem. Okay. So we have Griff and Tucker. They're shoveling a large driveway together. All right. Working alone, Griff can shovel the whole driveway in 4 hours. Tucker can shovel the same driveway in 2.5 hours. Okay. So pretty much the same setup as before. All right. Rate times time. This time equals part job. Okay. So we have Griff and we have Tucker. And they're shoveling a large driveway. Griff can shovel the whole driveway in 4 hours. So if it takes him 4 hours to do the whole job, that means he's doing 1/4 of the job every hour. Okay. Tucker does the same thing over 2.5 hours. So his is 1 over 2.5. I know that looks weird with a decimal, but that's okay. We'll leave it for now. Since we're trying to find their time together, those are both x, which means this is now x over 4, because you multiply. and this will be x over 2.5. All right. Are part jobs equal? No, not everybody does the same job in the same amount of time. Okay, but part jobs always equal 1. Okay, they always add up to 1 complete job. Okay, very, very important. So that means x over 4 plus x over 2.5 equals 1 over 1. And then you just need common denominators. Multiply this one by 2.5. Okay, multiply this one by 4, and this one by, well, what's 4 times 2.5? That would be 10. Okay, so you get 2.5x over 10 plus 4x over 10 equals 10 over 10, right? And now what do? From there, you get rid of the denominators. So I'm going to go ahead and do that since I'm low on room here. Don't want to erase your problem there. 2.5x plus 4x equals 10. What's 2.5x plus 4x? Well, that's 6.5x equals 10. And then you just divide. So x equals whatever 10 divided by 6.5 is, which is 1.538. It says round to the nearest hundredth. That's 2 decimal places, so it would be 1.54. And do not forget your units. Hours. You'll notice on these, make sure that you have units, okay? I will be looking for units. All right? Well, there you have it. There's your review. If you have any questions, you may leave a comment on this YouTube video. You may Twitter me at Mr. Cruze Math, or you may send an email my way as well. All right? I'll also be in the classroom in the morning if you need me. All right? Have a good evening.